Change. The word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Christina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Christina Bloom.
Hey everybody, good evening. Thank you for joining me again on Be the Change Radio. My name is Christina Bloom. I'm your host, and you are listening to us on WLTK-DB Let's Talk Radio. I'm super excited, as always, because I love doing this. And, if you've never done this, it's really addictive. So just letting you know, if you ever decide to host a show or a podcast, you're going to get hooked. It's the way it works. I just wanted to go over some things I have coming up here quick. I am still planning to be in northern Wisconsin, the Lakeland, Minocqua, Rhinelander general area later this week. Either Wednesday or Thursday I'll be coming up, I think. And I will be there through Friday. So I will be available to do private in-person psychic readings. Just shoot me a message. If you have my phone number, you can give me a call. Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. Look, we already have Resneck, Lee, Jamie Lynn, and Michelle in the chat room. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. All right, Saturday, I will be in Wausau. I was going to stop there on my way home for about 8 hours, I guess, at the Psychic Fair at the Holiday Inn in Rothschild. So, hey, Mary. Thank you for being here. So I will be there from 10 to 5, and I will also be doing the gallery reading at 1:30 p.m. at that fair. Next week, I have Karen Lafrano on the show, and we're going to be talking about the healing benefits of CBD and what is it, HTC? I'm kind of behind in my things, but you all know what I mean. All right. I will be at Soul and Synergy August 4th and 5th, and that's in Eau Claire, if you all know Terry and Danny. Hey, Terry, there you are. I'm telling people about you and your I'm sorry. He has a show too, but I'm telling people about his store. So I'm going to be there doing a trance channeling on Friday night, on August 4th. And I'll be there from noon to 4 on the 5th doing private readings. So you can set up an appointment or you can, it's walk-ins. That's awesome too. Let's see. On the 9th, I'm doing an online class, Accessing Your Akashic Records. So I'll be teaching you how to access your I don't know who this is, Todd, but anyway, I will be teaching you how to access and read your Akashic records in that class. So it is an online class, and you can find that on my Meetup page, onespiritconnection.com on Meetup, and we will go from there. Let's see. On the 18th, I will be at the Gem Goddess Emporium doing another trance channeling, and that is in Plattsburgh, New York. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Lee. Jeez. Yes, it solved the mystery. Thank you. You guys kind of derailed me there. All right. On August 19th, I am so looking forward to this. The Elizabethtown Fairy and Magical Creatures Festival. Can't wait to see everybody I know in New York in Elizabethtown. That is going to be amazing. And then on the 20th, I'm teaching Introduction to Intuitive You back at the Gem Goddess Emporium in Plattsburgh. And then I'll kind of be around the area for a little bit, somewhere between Northwest New York and the Atlantic Ocean. Find me somewhere. I'll do a reading for you. Super excited about that. So I just want to talk about our special guest today who has kindly stayed up until the wee hours of the morning in the UK to be with us today. This is my friend Glenn Boddice. And he sent me all this information I could not possibly memorize, so I am just going to cheat and read it to you. Having continually experienced supernatural experiences, from the age of 18, Glenn was invited to attend a spiritualist church where he nurtured his abilities. This led to platform mediumship with the inclusion of psychic art into the services. Glenn began to explore trance mediumship within a closed circle where many spirit communicators and universal truths were observed. His enthusiasm continued to expand into the realms of paranormal investigations, which saw Glenn participating in a variety of investigations around the United Kingdom. Incorporating his psychic art and mediumship abilities, he was invited to take part in numerous public events and paranormal documentaries. Glenn enjoys serving spirit through the work he does with client readings, inspirational talks, spiritual development classes, online workshops, paranormal investigation. He's an author, a radio show host, a podcast host, a presenter, and a multimedia producer. From Beyond with Glenn Boddice, a 1-hour radio show about all things spiritual and paranormal. In the show, we explore spiritual lifestyles, self-help, channeled spiritual guidance, a weekly energy forecast to set you up for the week ahead, special guests, and on location in a variety of paranormal places. The show is every Monday at 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. GMT on pulsetalkradio.com. Awakening the Light is the new book Glenn has channeled from the world of spirit. This book is to celebrate your soul and how to connect on a regular basis, how to understand the meanderings of your earthly mind, how to make sense of your experiences, and how to see the blessings and lessons within every single one of your earth moments. Available from glennboddicespiritualmedium.com. Walking with Spirit is a paranormal TV show which sees spiritual medium Glenn Boddice engaging in energy explorations in the most unlikely of scenic settings in order to conduct spiritual interactions with lost or returning souls so they can share their story. Available on Roku TV on Ghost Planet Network. Wow. Hey, pretty impressive, huh? Let's bring him out and talk about all this stuff. Lots of stuff to talk about. Hey, Glenn.
Hi, Christina. Thank you so much for having me on. You can have a breather now after reading all that out. Bless you.
So I did check out your TV show.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, first of all, I love to see pictures of the UK countryside, and you always seem to be in the countryside. So
yeah, do you know what? It's good for the soul, isn't it? Going outdoors and just absorbing that beautiful energy. I love it.
Yeah, it is beautiful. So what has been your favorite investigation, or the one that has stuck with you, maybe?
From the series?
Oh, from anywhere.
Oh, from anywhere.
Yes.
There's been quite a few over the years. One very creepy one was there's a place called, what's it called? It's in Liverpool. I think it's called Newsham Park Hospital in Liverpool. It's quite world famous, and it used to be an orphanage, and then it was like an asylum as well. And it's derelict, but they hire it out to paranormal investigators and teams. And so going there was absolutely incredible. I mean, every area of that building, it's even got its own mortuary where you can actually lie on the slab in the cooler, get locked in the cooler, and you can also go in the furnace where they burnt a lot of the deceased ones. And supposedly there's meant to be like remains still there, like teeth and things like that. So you can actually go in the fire pit and stand in those energies. So very creepy, very exciting, never a dull moment. So that's one of them, I would say. But I have a list as long as my arm, really.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. I do too. I do too. So, okay, let's go back to the series. What's your favorite one from the series?
From that, I would say it was Woollerton Hall, which is in Nottingham, which isn't too far away from where I live.
Okay.
And what I enjoyed about that particular episode is, I mean, the shows are 30 minutes in length. So to try and fill the allotted time with the amount of communications I had to sort of go through in the chopping room and get the choice parts to fit in
Okay.
that spot. But there was
Yeah.
the communications just kept on coming. There was people that was, I say people, spirit people that were popping in, having a nosy what I was doing, attracted by the energy and the light. There was elemental beings there as well, which is always interesting to come across. And
Yeah.
then you'd got timelines being exposed to you. So I was seeing, I think I mentioned in the episode, I was seeing with my physical eyes, but I feel as though it was a projection as well from my third eye. And I was seeing a coach and horses bolting across the land there. And of course, when you see anything like that in this time frame, you're rubbing your eyes, you blink, you're doing that Scooby-Doo thing, aren't you?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And it was still there. And so it was from the help of my spirit team, my spirit guides, that actually informed me what I was experiencing. But one of the other things that didn't actually make it to that episode was where I was having a conversation with this spirit boy who said, he gave me his name and he says, I'm not really this old, you know. And I was asking, well, why aren't you that old? He says, I'm actually older. He says, I've chosen to come back to a period in my life when I was a young boy and I used to come to this location with my grandfather. And I've chosen to come back into that timeline, but I'm actually older. And he was saying, the beauty of it is, he says, you can do it in your living presence as well. You can choose where you want to be in time, any directions of time. And so I found that fascinating.
And have you tried it?
I did. Funny enough, a few weeks ago, I had an experience. I'm sure you go through it, Christina, where you feel like spirit calling you. So you have to slow down, you listen. And this is very unlike me. This was in the middle of the afternoon. I felt the urge like I needed to have a lie on the top of the bed, not to go to sleep, but just to bask in that energy that spirit was bringing forward. The next minute, my eyes were closing and I was transported back to when I was about 4 or 5 years old in primary school.
Wow.
And it was so real, so vivid. I could obviously see, touch, smell the smells in that environment. I was also experiencing the emotions of other people in that particular timeline, as well as my own. And why I was having it, after I'd had all of these experiences, I went through various stages throughout my life. And my guides were telling me at the end of that I was actually going through a living life review. And they said the purpose of this was to actually make sense of the key points in my life, why I had to go through certain things, why I maybe have had personality traits show up in my life. And it was a case of reviewing that and acceptance of it. And upon acceptance and showing that gratitude for those experiences that I was revisiting, living life review, I then started to have this level of gratitude. I felt the emotions come up as well. And this is going with past relationships, you know, with partners as well. I understood why that happened. And it was so emotional. And afterwards, I came out of the experience feeling very clear, very supercharged, very blissful and grateful. So it was very interesting. A living life review, my guides termed it. And if you've never tried that, I would certainly just listen to your guides. There may be a time where they say, come on, Christina, time to rest. Let's take you down this road, and you'll be able to put the pieces to the puzzle together.
Right. And I have done that. They just didn't call it a living life review.
Ah, okay.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah, I have done that. And Lee wants to know, was he in his young body or viewing your young body?
I would say it was a combination of the two. 1 minute I was overseeing it. The next minute I was going in my body, and then I was feeling the emotions that I felt at that time. So when I was about 4 or 5 years old, that level of sort of frustration because I couldn't communicate what I was experiencing quite correctly. And then the next moment I was feeling shyness, crippled by shyness. And I was then experiencing the feelings of other people's frustrations of me being quite shy. It was very, very unusual. But yeah, I came in the body and came out. It was
okay.
It was very, very unusual.
I can relate to that. That's all I'm going to say about it.
That's good.
Relate to that.
At least I'm not going crazy. That's good to know.
Well, you might be, but then I'm right there with you. So, you know, it's all good. There was another question up here. Courtney, where was your question? It was something about art. She wants to know what the spirit art is. I can't find it.
Oh, okay. Well, psychic art.
Yes, psychic art. Thank you.
Yeah, that's interesting how that developed, actually. That developed in the beginning of my mediumship and awakening side of things. And basically what it is, it's where, imagine, if you will, if we use the terminologies like we have today, like we have a printer, don't we, that's connected up to, nowadays it's connected up to Wi-Fi, and we can send an image to that printer and it will print it out. The way I'd like to use this analogy is the way that psychic art works with me is that spirit blends, my artist guide blends his energy with mine, brings forward, takes over my hand, by the way, and I'm in like a trance-like state. I'm fully aware, but I'm just like looking at the pen and paper, and I'm feeling very calm, very relaxed. And the next minute, it's just like watching a printer. My hand starts to move of its own accord. And then the construction of a face and features start to build up on the page there. And with intention, you can tune into the vibrations of a location, and asking my spirit artist guide if they can draw any spirits that have been in that environment. And then I consult with my other guides to bring forward the details about them. So psychic art is, from my experience of it, it's when I go into like a very calm, chilled out, trance-like state, yet I'm viewing, I'm there in that experience, and I'm just viewing my hand moving of its own accord. So yeah, that's my definition of psychic art.
That is amazing. So do you teach this online?
I do, yeah. I cover most areas of spiritual development.
Yeah, because that sounds like a class I would love to take.
Oh, bless you.
That's one thing I don't do is the art piece of it. I'd love to take that class. That sounds interesting. And I've missed a whole bunch of my family here because we got lots and lots of my family here. And they're spirit family. So we've got Tristan and Jamie Lynn and Courtney and Kimmy and who'd I see? Marcy and Tristan. Thank you all so much for being here. I know you guys are here so much, and I so appreciate you're always coming. And I really hope Todd says no one can see it. Well, okay. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so apparently I'm having internet issues. So if we are skipping out. Oh, hi, Peg. Thanks for joining us. That was not my intelligent question. Courtney, I love her. She's so funny. I just love her to pieces. Evil and Dead movies. Okay, I don't want to know what that means. Tristan's comments there. Oh, you can't see comments. Okay. I had another question and I got waylaid by this cutting off the hand thing. So I have a question about paranormal investigating. So do you do that as part of a team, or is that something you do on your own?
I've done it both scenarios actually.
Okay.
But I've found with the TV show that I've just done, it is very much of a solo experience. And
Okay.
for me, I kind of enjoyed that more because there was no distractions. And I'm sure you'll appreciate this yourself, Christina. When you're there with a paranormal team,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be getting hits on information. And it could be one of the team members' loved ones that's jumped the queue
Yeah.
to get a message, and you're assuming that it's somebody in that vicinity that's connected with that land, and
I
you're
have had
reeling
that.
it off, you're all excited, and the next minute one of the team members says, well, actually my granddad used to do that, and you're like, oh. so
I have had that experience. Yes.
so
Yes.
when you're on your own, you can sort of like debunk any of that from happening. You know your
Right.
spirit team, and you can. But yeah, I have worked with paranormal groups. Yeah, I do like both. To be honest, I have no particular favorite.
Right. I kind of do both too, except that I don't generally do solo investigations, and mostly because I'm a woman, it's usually at night.
Yeah.
There's a safety concern. I'd really rather have someone else with me. Hi, Lizzie. Thanks for joining us. And Tristan is going to send me a YouTube of what he's talking about. Oh, that'll be interesting. I was actually curious because I have been around the paranormal world plus 20 plus years. It's been a while since I've been doing this. And there are some teams that don't allow psychics on their teams. They want empirical evidence.
Oh, okay.
Do you have that in the UK too? Do you have teams that are just, we only want the science part of it?
Yeah, from what I've observed, there is a lot of them, and not mentioning any names, but
I'm not either.
yeah, a lot of the teams, they absolutely adore the gadgets. And for me, there's nothing wrong with technology. I think the two, the mediumship can work hand in hand. We can hold each other up there because it's all about the evidence, isn't it? It's all about the experience, the energy, the evidence. But yeah, to answer your question, there are teams that do operate in that way. And I feel as though they, I don't want to really, it's hard to put into words without offending anybody. Because
my feeling is they're not getting all of the information.
I think they like to dig for themselves. A lot of them aren't sensitives, they're not mediums, but they have a genuine passion for the paranormal, which is amazing in itself. And from what I've observed, a lot of these people in the teams, over a period of time going to these locations, you've probably observed yourself there, Christina, they start to open up. They start to pick up. Yeah. And so maybe that's another reason why some teams don't have paranormal, mediums with them, because they're opening up themselves. They're wanting to follow their own journey in that respect.
That could be. I've felt like, I've been flat out told, we don't believe in mediums, and if we can't get it on the gadgets, then it doesn't exist. And my feeling about that is you might be getting, flashing lights, but are you getting context with it? And they're really missing the context, I think. Not that they aren't getting activity, but how do they understand the activity without context? But I was just curious because I know that's kind of a fighting thing going on over here with paranormal investigators. And I think it's kind of silly because we all play a part.
I mean, to be honest, people are very accepting over here of mediums. One time, sort of early 1990s, oh no, you didn't speak about it. It was very
Okay.
hush hush. And then it all of a sudden became more acceptable. Yes, you do get the odd jokes about what you do, as I'm sure you do
Oh
as
yeah.
well. And you just like, I've heard them all now. Come on.
Yeah.
Get a new one.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I was
It's
just curious because there seems to be a lot of infighting going on with the paranormal world in this area, and I don't understand it because we all play a part. But I was just curious because I don't often get a chance to ask someone who lives in a different part of the world, do you have this too? So I thought I would ask. So
no
all right.
problem.
So you have a radio show and a podcast. Inner
Yeah.
Circle is the podcast that I was on with you and your two wonderful co-hosts. That was so much fun. You guys are a blast. Like the three of you, it's amazing.
Thank
You have
you.
this amazing synergy between the three of you. It's just fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's always good fun, and it's unscripted. We just go with the vibrations. I mean, obviously, I'm a medium, but Phil is also, he has very sensitive mediumistic skills.
Yeah, I picked up on
Julie
that.
is very sensitive. She's a
Yeah.
Reiki master and a healer and a channeler as well. So we kind of like, we know what we're thinking before we're going to say it. It just kind of works in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys ever get a chance to look up Inner Circle podcast, it's a fun show to listen to.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
I'll
it was
check that one.
Yeah, check it out. It was a fun show to do, but it's also a fun show to listen to because you guys are really amazing with that. So, what is it? I'm going to just throw one out there that we haven't even discussed. What is it you'd like to do that you haven't done yet?
What I'd like to do, I'd like to make people feel comfortable about their true spiritual gifts, because we've all got them. It doesn't matter who you are, what background you come from. Yeah, you've got these gifts. And so I believe part of my mission is to remind people that they've got them. And, I'm just encouraging those true parts of themselves to come out. I'm not doing the work. They're doing the work. I'm just there to remind them. And so it'd be nice to continue doing that work on a bigger scale. And also with the TV work, it would be nice to take that to a bigger audience. And one of my things with doing the paranormal TV shows, although everything is branded paranormal because obviously it has to fit a narrative in order for it to get an audience.
Right.
But I love the term energy explorations.
Oh, I like that.
I feel it's got more of a positive feel to it. It also, I'd like to portray, and I've done that in the TV show, that you don't have to sit in a dark room to connect with energy or connect with spirit.
Right.
You don't have to go to a haunted location. You can walk anywhere. You can go anywhere in the world and you can connect with vibration and spirit energy and timelines. And so I'd like to bring that to the consciousness, really, of the masses, and just so that everybody's on that same page. It'd be nice, that we could all sort of accept that for what it truly is.
Yeah, I really, really love that. And could you tell us again? Because I listed like all the things that you do, and I don't remember what the name of the TV show is that you do.
Oh, it's called Walking with Spirit.
Okay, Walking with Spirit, and that's on your YouTube channel?
No, it's exclusive to the Ghost Planet Network, and that's on Roku TV.
Okay, Roku TV, Ghost Planet Network. Got it, Tristan? He asked the question.
Oh, bless you.
Like,
so yeah,
I don't remember. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I actually tried to find that on my Roku TV and I couldn't find it. So I'm going to have to look again. It might be something I have to subscribe to. I'm not sure.
It's a free. You don't have to pay. You can just you download the channel, Ghost Planet Network,
Ghost Planet.
and there's lots of content on there from other contributors. It's a wealth of knowledge. Actually, it's It's a really good go-to channel to watch if you're into the paranormal and spiritual things.
That's awesome. Paraflix is what we have here.
Oh yeah, we've got that over here as well.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've just started exploring Paraflix too. There's a lot of, and there goes my internet. This is a good time to take a break. Let's take a break and we'll be back with Glenn Boddice. Are you looking for unbiased and uncensored paranormal and spiritual talk? At WLTK-DB.com, we offer several talk shows ranging from self-care to hauntings and everything in between. Find the shows and hosts on our website at WLTK-DB.com. You can watch them live or catch up on your latest favorites. While you're there, be sure to check out the store and pick up some of the latest station swag. Did you know we had a station blog, or that you can host your own show? It's all online at WLTK-DB.com. Looking to advertise? Check out our competitive pricing and let's get you noticed. WLTK Talk Radio has something for everyone. So be sure to stop by and say hello at WLTK-DB.com. Hi, everyone. It is 32 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Be the Change. I'm here with my special guest, Glenn Boddice, who was kind enough to stay up all night to be able to do the show with us from the UK. So welcome back, Glenn. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Christina.
And hey, Keith, thanks for being here. Just popped on to say hi and have a great night. I know Keith is going to sign off pretty quickly. He gets up early for work, but thanks for popping in, Keith. Much appreciated. So where was I? I was just thinking about all the stuff that I read about you. And I know that you do a lot of stuff. I love watching your weekly, what do you call that? Where you have a card and you like a weekly forecast.
The reading. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I love that because it's the way that you deliver it is just so down to earth. You know, and I've watched a lot of people. I've even done my own, and it's to kind of airy fairy. But yours is like boom, right there, down to earth. This is information that's going to help you. This is where you can find more information. So, if you have not watched his weekly forecast, when do you release that? Like on?
It's every Sunday. It gets released.
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so it's Sunday ahead of the week commencing Monday.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
Right, and you're 6 hours ahead of us, so.
Yeah,
that'll give my Midwestern friends here an idea of when you release that. But it's really good. Which deck do you use for that?
Which what? Sorry.
Which tarot deck or
right. Well, I've got quite a few, and so every week my guides say, right, you need to pick that pack up this week, and so I like the Radley Valentine Angel Tarot cards. I'm a big fan of all of his work. I think the energies on them. Yes. And the level of detail in the artwork, the symbolism, the colors that were chosen, and the vibrations on the card, they're very light for tarot cards. And I just love that infusion of the angelic energies in them. And I find them an absolute pleasure to work with.
Yeah, that is a lovely deck. I've worked with it. I don't have that one, but I have a travel box of tarot cards too.
Oh, so you're the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Tarot and Oracle and whatever else. I got soul cards, eventually you just start, this stuff just comes to you, doesn't it?
Yeah. You get drawn to it, don't you?
Yeah. And, or people give it to you, or it just kind of shows up somehow. And you're just, where'd that come from? Oh, well, I guess I'll use it.
Yeah, that's true.
It just shows up. So, What was you have a class coming up I saw on Facebook.
Yeah, I teach online and I teach in person.
Okay.
The online class, that's every Thursday, and that's at 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time, UK London time.
Okay.
And that's for 2 hours, so till 9:30 Greenwich Mean Time.
Okay.
And we cover all aspects of spiritual development. In each class, we have 2 sections. So every week we have 2 different subjects, and they can range from psychic art, like you've already mentioned. It can go from automatic writing. We can take it back to basics with connecting with your chakras, connecting with your spirit guides. And then we take it to where we're going out of body and exploring. We even do channeling as well. And so, yeah, we cover most things.
Awesome. I feel like we're kind of the same person.
Bless you.
We do so many of the same things, and I love it. I love that there are so many of us out there doing this work, because this planet really needs us.
Definitely.
This planet really needs us. So a big topic of conversation in my world lately has been the ascension that we're going through, and the raising of the energies on planet Earth. And how are you and your group dealing with that?
With the development group,
Okay.
with that, a lot of people, some of their old behaviors are coming to the surface, and they're having to let go of some of the emotional trauma that they've gone through. People have very short tempers, but as I say to people, it's because they come up to the surface because they're wanting you to know that they're there, so that you can say, thank you very much. I no longer need you now on this journey, and let them go.
Absolutely.
A lot of that happening. There's a lot of spiritual downloads, the ringing of the ears, the angelic download codes coming in. And a lot of students are experiencing seeing the flashes of light and orbs, and obviously sensing and smelling their loved ones drawing forward more so now than ever. As you know yourself, that the veil has become very, very thin.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful time to be alive on the planet, I feel.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's not an easy time to be alive in some cases.
Not at all, no.
But it's a beautiful time to be alive. And we all chose to be here at this time for this reason. At least that's the way I feel about it.
Definitely. So. Yeah, I think the hardest thing as well that most people are going through is actually taking responsibility and owning who you are. Because most of us have lived our lives where we're concerned about what other people think of us, how we dress, how we behave, how we conduct ourselves. And I feel now is a time to forget about all of that.
Right.
You can only be yourself. Just focus on that, take ownership, and the rest will start to fall into place for you.
Right. Well, not only can you only be yourself, nobody else can be you either. So
exactly. Yeah.
Own it. Own that uniqueness, I think is really key for a lot of people. Whatever you say, Christina, we all agree. I know that is not a true statement. So yeah, it's even the people who don't do what we do for a living. A lot of them are like, what is going on? All of a sudden, I'm like, I can't sleep, or I sleep too much. I've got this ringing in my ears. I've got these weird physical symptoms. Nobody can figure out what's wrong. It's because there's nothing wrong. That's really the key. There's nothing wrong. It's that our bodies are trying to keep up with our spiritual ascension.
Yeah.
And
the headaches are quite popular over here as well now.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd use the word popular, but
well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just teasing. Yeah, headaches, body aches, just weird, random stuff, upset stomachs.
And people going off food that they loved consuming for years, all of a sudden they can't touch it anymore.
Yeah.
They don't like the smell, the taste of it, completely changing their diet overnight in some cases.
Right. And foods that you used to eat all the time, but your body can no longer tolerate.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if you still like the taste, the body can't tolerate it. So, yeah, a lot of that going on planet-wide from what I understand. So there's, boy, when Mother Earth shifts up, a lot happens. Sounds like being pregnant. Well, kind of. It kind of is. I mean, it's not like we're bringing new life, but it's different. It's not like we're creating another human being. We're recreating ourselves, basically, as we're going through this process. So
We're like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are. And that gooey stage is no fun.
No. Not at all.
That is just not fun. I don't want us to be doing readings, but if anyone has questions for Glenn, please feel free to pop the questions in the chat and we will get them up there. Peg says that she had to give up chocolate and coffee and she loves both, but they now create havoc in her digestive system. And then a heavy sigh after that, because I feel that sigh.
Yes. I mean, I was known for being a chocolate monster, and I too have had to wean off of it.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
Yeah. It's just wrong. Oh, you guys are the best, I tell you. Yeah, I've noticed with a lot of people and animals too. I've noticed that a lot of pets, especially for some reason, dogs right now. And I had this conversation in a small private group that I belong to where everyone's dog seems to be getting sick or not feeling well or acting weird too, as you know, because all the beings on the planet are going through the ascension. It's not just us. And I don't know if you've noticed that, but
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed also, obviously, we have Wi-Fi, we have all these frequencies kicking around as well as the ascension. So I feel as though it's a mix of everything at the moment, trying to sort of find its own space. And it is causing that confusion, like you say, particularly with animals, because they're used to just naturally connecting to Mother Earth without even realizing it. And all of a sudden you've got these external frequencies coming in that's kind of throwing them off their path.
Yeah. I'm trying to, let's see, someone shortening and powder sugar. I didn't understand that, Courtney. I'm sorry. Vanilla, not Gandhi. Okay. So I don't know what this means, but maybe you will. Does he drink PG Tips or a different tea? I think we have a bit. Okay, so yeah, Robin, that's why your dog won't leave you alone now. Let's see. There we go. We have Glenn back now, I think. We're having some technical issues here tonight. Nothing new. So I don't know if he's still, looks like he's still not here. Yeah, I've just been having conversations with people where, the animals are behaving differently. I know those sunspots, I'm telling you, it's crazy right now. I'm firing laughing. Made vanilla frosting was licking off my fingers. You guys were saying that about the chocolate. Okay, Courtney, now I understand your previous message. So I just wanted to bring something to you guys. He froze. Okay. Yeah. Glenn froze. Hopefully he'll be back. But in a chat group that I'm in, we were talking about how grounding is more difficult now than it used to be, and how a lot of us aren't able to stay stably grounded like we were before. And someone brought up that because of the higher vibrations that we're living in, that we should be grounding to the sun rather than to the earth. Now, I've not tried this yet, But I'm wondering if some of you have, maybe try grounding to the sun, possibly even to the moon, as opposed to grounding to the earth, and see if that feels more comfortable. I don't know how else to say that, but you ground with the sun, Courtney. Okay. I have never done that. Oh, looks like we're getting Glenn back again. Are you back?
Hi, Christina. Yeah, the
Hi.
point is completely cracked.
Yeah. We were just talking about sunspots and how that is just like this, the radiation from the sun and the coronas that they're coming off of the sun are hitting the earth with more radiation, and that is causing us some electrical issues.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we were just talking about that. And actually, I'm going to catch you up on the conversation because I had to keep talking. So,
bless you.
In a private group that I'm in, we were talking about how so many of us are having difficulty grounding to the earth like we've been doing for years and years. And someone said, maybe we should be grounding to the sun or maybe the moon, because our energies are raising, and maybe that would be a more comfortable grounding. And I don't know, is that something that you have thought about, talked about?
No, I haven't heard of that. There's a technique that I use, and it was given to me by my guides. And I've noticed, like yourself, you do channeling as well, don't you, Christina?
Mm-hmm.
I found sometimes after a channeling session, I'm still up there. It's hard to come back down. So my guides inspired me to pick up what they call a grounding stone, which is something I found when I was out walking. I was naturally drawn to it. And so I have that on my altar. And whenever I go into trance, I make sure that I have that at the side of me afterwards. And I just hold it in my palms or keep it on my person. And I'm finding that on those moments that you speak about, where we're feeling out of sorts and not quite here, not quite grounded, I go over to the altar and I just walk around with that stone in. And because the intention of that stone is to ground, I found within 10 or 15 minutes, I'm back here again. So that's something that I use. Yeah. But I've never heard the technique with the sun and the moon.
I've not tried it yet.
No.
Yeah, I've not tried it yet. I think I'm going to try it though. Because I just want to experience it, I guess. Isn't that what we're here to do? Experience. So
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that a shot. Someone was saying that, and someone was also saying again with the pets, like the pets are having difficulties physically and with the all the shifting that's going on in the other animals. And I really just feel, and yeah, I'm just gonna blow right through all the rules and say, I think the animals, especially the wild animals, they're just done with our shit. They're just done with us. Like they just don't even want to anymore. There have been so many instances of people in national parks, not just here, but also in, I think it was Zimbabwe or something. People get too close and they just charge. Like they're just, get out of my space. Stop this. Otters are attacking surfboards in California. I did not know that. Hi, Melanie. I never thought of otters as attacking anything.
Actually, now you come to mention it, when I was doing the filming for when I was at Woollerton Park, it's known for having deers, and deers are quite placid creatures, And just after I'd finished filming, there was a guy that was shouting, and I was like, "Oh, what's happening there?" Anyway, one of the deers, the stags, had been attacking him, charging him, because he'd got a dog on a lead, and it was just charging in, bashing into his legs and everything, and it wouldn't let him go past on the pathway. So that goes in alignment with what you're saying about animals are just fed up of us, that they're not taking it any longer.
No, we have thought we were in control far too long, and they're just done with us. I
Yeah.
think. And I think they're right. I think that we have overstepped our bounds for a long time as a species, because we're not the only species on this planet. That is getting way off topic. But anyway, I said we just talk about whatever, right? Whatever pops into your head. So feel free to
Yeah.
talk whatever pops into your head. So there was another question that I was going to ask you about. When you channel, are you totally in trance when you channel?
Yeah, I just drift off, like you probably do yourself there, and you feel that energy building up within your physical body, don't you? And it feels
Yeah.
like, best way I can describe it is if you shake up a bottle of, say, lemonade or fizzy pop, and
Yeah.
it just wants to explode, and you feel spirit moving in, and it's next minute you're speaking, and the next minute you're
Right.
behind yourself. It's a bizarre feeling. You're literally sat behind yourself. And sometimes I hear the noise of like, brr, 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 like the teacher
Oh,
in Charlie Brown, Snoopy Charlie Brown.
yes.
It
Okay.
sounds like brr, 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 but I can't make out what's being said. But I'm aware that
Okay.
somebody's speaking through my body, but I'm not in control of it. So
Yeah.
I would say I'm out of it, definitely. But every now and again, I do hear that blah, blah, blah.
Okay. I love that. I
It's
love
very
that. Yeah,
weird.
depending on who I channel, I can hear the whole conversation, but afterwards I don't really remember it. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't come up with a talking point really. Other people talk to me about it as if I was present and doing it, but
yeah,
I don't really remember it afterwards. But I think I hear most of it. And I think a lot of it, even if we're not consciously aware of it, I think some of it has to settle into us, because they're using our bodies, they're using our brains, they're using our vocal
yeah.
cords. Some of it has to stay behind with us, I think.
That's
That's just my
interesting.
opinion.
And I feel that it's the same with what you're saying with readings that you do as well.
Yeah.
I bet you have it a lot, Christina, when your clients come up to you afterwards. Oh, yeah, you told me that last week, and it's happened. What did I tell you? I can't remember what I did yesterday. Never mind last week.
Right.
Do
Right.
you know?
Well, and with readings, yeah, it's not my information, so I don't hold on to it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. I have had people call me 4 years later and say, "Can you clarify this point that you told me in this reading?" And I'm like, "No."
Can you imagine if you absorbed all of that information? You wouldn't be able to think, would you, to carry
No.
out your daily duties, all of those energies,
Mm-mm.
emotions. And so it's understandable that they don't let you retain that information.
Right. I mean, that would be way too much for any of us to function.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you have coming up that you want to tell people about?
Well, I've got my book that's still available via my website. In fact, I'm going to
Do
do
you have one there with you?
a shameless plug.
Awesome. Yes, please. Plug.
Awakening the Light. And this book is all about ascending. It's all about getting used to these new vibrations. I like to call it a thrival manual because simply it's helping you to thrive rather than survive in these changing frequencies.
Mhm.
And my guides they've actually said, the channels, should I say, that brought this book through, because it was all channeled from spirit.
Mhm.
They actually say in the book that the energy contained within the text, within the vibration of the book, just by holding it as well, will have some sort of impact on you as well. But yeah, it's very interesting what they talk about in this book about, understanding ourselves, where we're at on our journey, taking that responsibility, and just making space for these new frequencies coming in, and also observing what's happening around us. So they go into quite some depth on how to do that and how to navigate
Awesome.
through these times.
And the only place it's available is through your website.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It was on a previous website, let's just say that, a popular one.
Okay. Popular one. We all pretty much know what that is, yeah.
And I don't think they aligned with it. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And
all right.
So it's just available from my website.
Okay. And your website is Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium
.com. Yeah.
.com. It. Okay. All right. So that's where you can get the book. And the thing is, I would love to get your book. In fact, I'm going to order the book. Shipping might be kind of interesting.
Well, actually, the publisher of that is an American publisher. So
okay. So it ships from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How about that? There you go. And Todd has popped up your website in the comments for everyone. So
thank you, Todd. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can see that. And when does your show air? Is that on a regular schedule or your TV show?
The TV show, it's all up there for you to watch. So it's like watch on whenever you want to. It's free to watch. So you can watch it again and again and again and as many times as you like.
Again.
Yeah. You can pause it, get some glamour shots of me doing that and all of that.
There you go. Awesome. Awesome. Courtney says she's hitting it tonight.
Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. And then again on Mondays, you have your radio show.
Yeah, that's right. Also, if you don't mind me mentioning on my Facebook page, every Monday I do a conversation, and we have a deep dive conversation. It changes subject. My guides bring the information in, and it's a very interactive experience where we're talking from all manner of subjects like bereavement, finding the best of who you are, and as a collective on there, we lift each other up by the bootstraps. So if anybody's interested, every Monday joining me on my Facebook page, it's 11 a.m. UK time. So that's probably 6.
Mine is 6. That's like 5 a.m.
Yeah, you're going to be snoring at that time, aren't you? So I do
because
that.
I probably went to bed at 3. So.
But also I do the radio show, as you quite rightly say, and that's 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
So it's 10 a.m. Okay.
But there's also all of the episodes get archived on my website there. And again, there's a different show subject every week. And there's also a channeling from spirit. So you'll be able to hear that trance mediumship as well in every episode.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to check that out. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So for all my friends who tell me that I work too much, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it becomes addictive, doesn't it?
It does. Okay. Yeah, it does. It does. And when you love what you do, why stop doing it?
It doesn't feel like work, does it? It's a lifestyle.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so Peg has a question. So we're going to answer this question before we end the show. She said, I had a massage student observe me while I did massage recently, and she said that I was in quite a trance while doing the massage. I was also doing Reiki during the session. It was rather interesting because I sometimes do this and can't remember exactly what I was doing, but after the massage, the client is amazed on what I was able to do for them. Can and do we go into these trance states automatically when another soul reaches out?
I would say your healing team, your spirit guide, your healing team, when there is a necessity, a need for that intense healing, that I would say your conscious mind maybe would question the practices that they're wanting you to do. They're going to remove you out of yourself slightly so that they can work on a deeper level, simply because they'll get the job done quicker, more efficiently, without your shall we say, human mind stepping in and putting a roadblock in the way to stop that client from benefiting from the energy that's wanting to come through for them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so I would say that would probably to you feel like a trance state when your guides step in and do that for you.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Glenn, this has been a blast, and we need to do this more often. And I will check out
Bless
your Facebook group that you do on. You said when is that again?
I did want to. Well, it's today, but it was yesterday for me. So the latest one, we did a talk about embracing. I think it was called embracing the space. So we did a conversation about that, about you. Allowing yourself. We've both just said we're very busy people, but it's talking about allowing yourself to just give yourself that space and do the inner work and have that time back for yourself. So we had that conversation earlier today. So that is archived there on my Facebook. And
awesome.
as is all the other conversations. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you again so much. You are such a trooper for staying up so late to come and talk with us tonight. And I so appreciate it.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Now go get some sleep, and we'll catch up again soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Take care, Glenn.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Remember, you can watch us on podcasts on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and a whole bunch of other places. So you can check us out even when you miss or you want to go back and re-listen. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you next Monday.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.